What's up guys, it's Toby here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And in this video we will talk about many transfer stories around Liverpool, but the biggest one is that Liverpool apparently want to outbid Arsenal for the very talented half Hungarian, half Swedish striker, Viktor Gyökeres, who scored 43 goals and got 15 assists for Sporting last season. And the only reason why Liverpool would be interested in signing a striker, that could mean that maybe Liverpool are thinking about selling Darwin Núñez. How do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments below. I know that there are many harsh critics of Darwin Núñez, but I think he deserves another season to prove himself at Liverpool. He's still pretty young, he can still grow and develop and get better. And we will talk about Joe Gomez and Anthony Gordon a little bit later in this video. But first, if you enjoy these, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here. And I got this new Liverpool home kit from my wife's parents who were on holiday, and they surprised me with this gift after they got back. I don't have the money to buy this home kit for myself, so I'm grateful for their gift. And I'm also grateful if you decide to support this channel on Patreon. Link is in the video description. You can make a one-time donation or subscribe to any tier, and you get additional career mode benefits as well. So Liverpool are ready to outbid Arsenal in the race for the sensational striker Viktor Gyökeres, who is worth around 50 to 60 million pounds, and he was in ruthless form for Sporting. As I said, 43 goals and 15 assists in all competitions. We will look at his career and numbers a little bit later in this video. And they won the Portuguese league with Vitor Amorim, of course. Arsenal have been one of the clubs who have been mostly linked with Gyökeres, even though Arsenal have Gabriel Jesus and Ketia and Kai Havertz, who can all play in a striker position. But Liverpool also have Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota, even Cody Gakpo, who can play in the striker position. But I think Gakpo and Diaz will be playing left wing, and Jota and Núñez will play striker. So I think Liverpool need a young right winger a lot more than a striker. But according to reports from Portugal, Liverpool are ready to meet Sporting's asking price, which is around 60 million pounds. Arsenal are willing to offer 52 million for Gyökeres, and Liverpool could steal Gyökeres from under Arsenal's noses, as they are apparently willing to pay this 60 million pound asking fee. But this comes from a Portuguese news outlet, O Jogo, so I'm not sure how reliable it is. No English journalists so far have corroborated this story, but that means that Liverpool don't want anybody to know what their business is before we sign a player. That's what Liverpool's stance is since that Virgil van Dijk fiasco, when it was pretty public that Liverpool went after Van Dijk. Since then, Liverpool have been keeping their cards very close to their chest. And English journalists keep reporting that Liverpool are targeting three areas: centre-back, defensive midfield, and a wide forward position, so right winger who can play on either side of the wing. And Gyökeres would undoubtedly be a very exciting signing. And Sean Fisher is reporting that Gyökeres' sell-on clause has been paid off by Sporting because they anticipate selling Gyökeres this summer. Sporting are a selling club. They don't have the financial muscle, the budget to offer big wages to the likes of Gyökeres and other players. And one of the hottest strikers on the market right now is Gyökeres, after he ended last season with 43 goals and 15 assists. And Arsenal scouts were in attendance to watch Gyökeres in a preseason friendly against Athletic Bilbao. And Sporting are prepared to accept bids under his release clause, which is 100 million euros, that's 86 million pounds. But Sporting are realistic, they know that nobody will pay that release clause. Because Gyökeres signed actually from Coventry just 1 year ago, and what a signing it has been. Going from the Championship to Sporting and like tripling his value is absolutely crazy. And Coventry were set to be owed 15% of Gyökeres' future fee, but Sporting have now reached into their pocket to lower that figure to 10%. So if they paid some money to Coventry, and that means that if Gyökeres is sold for 60 million, they only have to pay 6 million of that and not 9 million. So that actually makes sense. The Portuguese outlet record reveals that Sporting paid just 3 million euros, which is £2.5 million, to reduce Coventry's sell-on fee to 10%. That statement was sent to the Portuguese Securities Market Commission, and that's how this was revealed. And it is a big sign that Sporting are preparing to sell Gyökeres this summer, basically to the highest bidder, and they have paid to lower his sell-on clause to ensure they get the majority of the fee. Even a 15% sell-on clause is not a disaster, but on a 60 million transfer, it's 9 million. They reduced that to just a 10% sell-on clause, and that means that they got to keep 90% of the transfer fee. Manchester United has previously shown interest in Gyökeres, but since they signed Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna for 36 million, it looks like they won't sign another striker. And Ojogo is saying that Liverpool are intensifying their interest in a Sporting striker Gyökeres. This is what they are reporting. Liverpool launching move for Gyökeres. Gyökeres has a buyout clause of 100 million, but Liverpool believe they can sign him for around 70 million euros, which is around 60 million pounds. Of course, Darwin Núñez signed for Liverpool for around 85 million pounds if you add in bonuses and everything else, but he has struggled to live up to his price tag. But I think last season Darwin Núñez had a good season, not a great season, a good enough season for Liverpool to keep him around for one more year. If Darwin Núñez can regress to the mean of a good striker finishing, then his numbers would skyrocket, because he gets so many chances. He is an absolute chance magnet. So I think Darwin Núñez deserves another season, and he still had more than 20 goal contributions in all competitions. I think he was actually more than 30 contributions when you add up his goals and his assists. And what is also interesting is that Gyökeres started his career in the Swedish league, and then he was signed for Brighton, but Brighton started loaning him out first to St. Pauli, where he scored 7 goals in 28 games. Then he had a pretty bad loan spell at Swansea, just playing 12 games, scoring 1 goal. But then he was loaned in the same season to Coventry, where he scored 3 goals in 19 games. But then he had 2 full seasons at Coventry after Brighton sold him, where he scored 18 and 22 goals. That's when he settled at the club really and started producing great numbers. And after that, he scored 40 goals in 2 seasons, and Sporting signed him. But I don't think Sporting in their wildest dreams would imagine Gyökeres getting 43 goals and 15 assists in 50 games. That's 58 goal contributions in 50 games. And of course that also coincided with Sporting having a great season, winning the Portuguese league title. And as I said, Gyökeres is half Swedish, half Hungarian, so I've been following his career for a long time, being Hungarian, and also I like to follow Swansea in the Championship as well, so I've been keeping an eye on Gyökeres for a number of years. And according to Transfermarkt, his current market value is 65 million euros, which is around 58 million pounds. And his market value really skyrocketed since he signed for Sporting in just 1 season. And Sporting only paid 24 million euros for Gyökeres, and now they could sell him for 70 million euros. So as I said, almost tripling his value in 1 season is absolutely wild, absolutely crazy. And I think Sporting are so happy with this transfer, because now they really can make a huge profit on a player who of course will outgrow the Portuguese league sooner or later anyway. I think maybe he has already outgrown the Portuguese league. What is also crazy to me is that he has no injury history. So no injuries that was reported to Transfermarkt, which is absolutely blows my mind. That in all of the seasons that he has been playing football, he had no injuries, so he didn't miss any games because of injury. He only missed some games because he was rested. And he scored already 6 goals for the Swedish national team in 20 games. I'm a little bit sad on a personal note that he didn't choose the Hungarian national team, but I can understand because he was born in Sweden. and one of his parents is Hungarian, one of his parents is Swedish, and he chose to represent his birthplace, Sweden, where he actually grew up. But Hungary actually qualified for the Euros and Sweden did not, so Gyökeres would have been so good for the Hungarian national team if he has chosen our national team or my national team, because I'm Hungarian. But you know, I respect his decision that he feels Swedish, so he chose Sweden probably. And James Pearce also reported that negotiations were so advanced over the proposed transfer of Joe Gomez to Newcastle that payment terms were already discussed. So as I said, this deal was 90% done, that Anthony Gordon is coming to Liverpool for 75 million, Joe Gomez is going to Newcastle for 45 million, so Liverpool would have paid 30 million plus Joe Gomez for Anthony Gordon, which I think I understand why Liverpool took that deal, because that is actually a very attractive transfer deal. Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes has agreed to sell Gomez for 45 million pounds. That's based on winger Anthony Gordon coming to Liverpool for 75 million. So two separate deals, but each dependent on the other. And the Newcastle CEO wanted the bulk of the fee for Gordon up front, as Newcastle sought to raise funds before the Premier League's profitability and sustainability rules reporting deadline. Inquiries were also made with the England camp about holding medicals for Gomez and Gordon during the European Championship in Germany. Of course, Newcastle first wanted to sign Gyökeres Kwanzaa in this Anthony Gordon to Liverpool deal, but Liverpool firmly rejected that because there wasn't any scenario where Liverpool wanted to part ways with Gyökeres Kwanzaa, who is only 21 years old and he's already like as good as Joe Gomez at centre-back, and he has so much potential, so much room to grow. But when Newcastle turned their attention to Gomez, Liverpool were willing to negotiate, and I think that's where Joe Gomez will be pretty upset, even though right now Liverpool publicly are saying that Joe Gomez is not really for sale. Liverpool don't really want to let him go. They are basically inviting bids for Joe Gomez, for Waterrando, for Sepp van den Berg, for other players as well. And Liverpool are listening to bids from for Nat Phillips and Kevin Kelleher, even Fabio Carvalho and maybe Luis Diaz could be sold by Liverpool, and Liverpool could generate a lot of money if we sold like the majority of these players. But I think Liverpool will only enter the market once we sell or move on a couple of players. There was a 60 million pound bid, 6 million, not 60, oh my goodness, 6 million pound bid for Bobby Clark as well, which was rejected by Liverpool as well. And Liverpool are big fans of Anthony Gordon, and he had his head turned by the interest of Liverpool, who Anthony Gordon supported growing up. But Liverpool are also aware of Newcastle not being under any financial pressure to sell Anthony Gordon anymore after selling Minte and Elliot Anderson, so Liverpool aren't looking to push Joe Gomez out of the door. It was all about the circumstance in late June that this deal was good enough that Liverpool entertained the idea of sending Gomez plus 30 million for Anthony Gordon. And Joe Gomez is still regarded as one of Arne Slot's 4 senior centre-backs, and his versatility was so useful for Liverpool last season, where he played centre-back, right-back, left-back, even defensive midfield, when both Trent and Robertson and Tsimikas and Conor Bradley were all injured at one point or the other. Nat Phillips is expected to move on after Liverpool's tour of the USA, but fellow centre-back Sepp van den Berg has been giving Arne Slot a dilemma. Do Liverpool keep Sepp van den Berg around the squad, or do Liverpool sell him? Because his performances have been rock solid in pre-season, and Sepp van den Berg finally improved significantly on loan at Mainz. Van den Berg has shown why Liverpool have turned down offers from Mainz, Wolfsburg and PSV. He may have scoffed at Liverpool's 20 million pound valuation of him, but that figure did not look unrealistic when you saw how Sepp van den Berg, how well he played against Arsenal, one of the best teams in England. Joe Gomez also has plenty to think about as he prepares to come back to Liverpool. Alexis McAllister also arrived back into the pre-season tour, and some Liverpool fans were criticizing him, but he has been in America because of the Copa America, so logistically it was easier for him to travel up north to the Liverpool's pre-season tour, while Darwin Núñez, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Joe Gomez, they are all on holiday somewhere around the world, probably in the Maldives or somewhere, south. So it was easier for McAllister to travel to meet the Liverpool squad in the USA, and it's easier for the others to travel back to Liverpool, because there is no point for them joining the USA tour just for one game where they won't even play probably because of jet lag and everything, and then travel back to Merseyside a few days later. So that's a lot of unnecessary, trips that the Liverpool players should avoid making. So that's it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.